Welcome back. Now, trouble is mounting for the former Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and his former Deputy Manish Sisodia as well ahead of the Delhi elections. The Ministry of Home Affairs has given its nod to the Enforcement Directorate to prosecute the two Aam Aadmi Party leaders in connection with the Delhi excise policy case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now, a special PMLA court in Delhi had previously paused the framing of charges against Kejriwal after he had moved the Delhi High Court. Kejriwal had argued that the trial court's cognizance of the charge sheet was invalid due to the absence of a specific sanction for the prosecution under PMLA. Last year, the Supreme Court had granted Arvind Kejriwal bail in both the ED and the CBI cases in connection with the alleged scam. Incidentally, this setback for the Aam Aadmi Party national convener comes on the same day he's set to file his nomination for the New Delhi constituency.
MHA has granted the ED approval for executing Arvind Kejriwal in the alleged Delhi liquor policy scam. How do you respond to it?
Well, what were they doing since November 22 then? They imprisoned our netas. They took Manish Sisodia ji spent almost 2 years in jail. Arvind Kejriwal ji spent 6 months in jail. The ED court very categorically noted in its order that ED is not acting without bias. ED द्वेष की भावना से काम कर रही है. The ED court also noted that there was no evidence against Arvind Kejriwal ji. Similar findings in Manish sir's case. Similarly, in Supreme Court, the court said that the CBI is acting like a caged parrot. All of these observations, strong observations, were given against these agencies, and the BJP का पर्दाफाश हो गया था उससे. तो अब ये 2 साल बाद क्या कर रहे हैं? If they did not have the permission, how did they arrest our leaders? Is there a better example to show how they misuse the agencies? This is the BJP का घिसा पीटा पैटर्न. चुनाव आ गए हैं, हार दिख रही है उनको सामने और उन्होंने अपनी घिसी पीटी पैटर्न स्टार्ट कर दी है. But what is most important is that they should be questioned. भाई 2000 नवंबर 2022 के बाद जो आप कर रहे थे वो सब क्या था बिना परमिशन के कर रहे थे तो.
So is this yet another case of incorrect timing in order to just inconvenience Arvind Kejriwal, or is it now open that Mr. Kejriwal, even if he does get elected back, will continue to face the legal troubles over the Liquorgate saga? Let me go across to my guests who are joining me at this point. Advocate Anmol Panwar, of the spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party; Pradeep Mahaur, leader of the BJP; Advocate Parvez Memon is, of course, senior partner of MZM Legal LLP. Thank you all, gentlemen, for joining me on this show. Let me start with Pradeep Mahaur first. Pradeep, the response coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party, that the tactics, especially when you look at how yesterday the Delhi police very mysteriously just mentioned links of an NGO and a political party without specifying who these individuals and party were, and on which the BJP conveniently jumped upon it. And today, the Aam Aadmi Party says that the timing makes it obviously clear that it is meant to somehow try and corner Arvind Kejriwal during election season. How does the BJP respond to these charges?
Look, it has nothing to do with the elections. As far as the agencies are concerned, they have got their procedures and they are asking for the permission. So what should have been done? Should agencies be restricted to ask for the permission? Or, there should be some special privileges given to Arvind Kejriwal? This is not possible. The current government is a law-abiding government and they will go with the procedures. They will go with the books. And what is happening now is some of the proofs have been found out by ED. And ED is a law enforcement agency. And ultimately, the people who are trying to convey wrong notions and wrong verdicts about ED, they are actually opposing the law. This is how the law prevails. ED is an agency which will investigate the case. And there is a serious case against Arvind Kejriwal, and that case is about money laundering of around 45 crore in Goa elections. So that case needs to be investigated, and they are asking permission. They've just asked for the permission to investigate the case, and that permission has been given. That should be given. There should not be special privileges to anybody in India, whosoever it is, whether it is Arvind Kejriwal or anybody else in this world.
Okay. Anmolji, respond to the statement. BJP is saying that this is procedure and it's the Aam Aadmi Party which is trying to create a conspiracy and try and make itself a victim. What simple is the rule of the law being followed?
Ritangshu ji, is it for me?
Yes, it is for you, Anmolji.
Yeah, Ritangshuji, this is a classic case of how the BJP-led central government misused the investigative agencies, as has been categorically mentioned in the order of the Honorable Supreme Court. And just 10 days before the election, they are resorting to every possible tactic to tarnish the image of Arvind Kejriwal. Real,
All right, we think we seem to have lost Advocate Anmol Power at a critical time at this point, but while we try and fix that network connection, let me also get in my guest, Advocate Parvez Memon, at this point. Advocate Memon, from a legal perspective here, what do you make of this entire process that has been going on over the Liquorgate saga here? The Aam Aadmi Party is saying that if sanctions were given now to prosecute, why was Mr. Kejriwal in jail in the first place? Do you feel that the due course of the law appears to have been followed in this case?
Well, firstly, let me tell your viewers grant or accord of sanction is neither a setback for Mr. Kejriwal nor is it a big achievement for the ED. It is mere a procedural aspect that has been achieved at this stage. Now, to make all of your viewers understand that sanction is not a prerequisite to investigate an offense. Sanction is a prerequisite for commencing the trial against the accused. Sanction is a prerequisite for filing charge sheet and for the court to take cognizance of. It is just one of the benchmark to proceed with the trial. It is neither making Mr. Kejriwal's worst or better in any way. He was facing that trial. He was charged as an accused. Charge sheet was filed against him. Now the sanction has been obtained. Now what remains with Mr. Kejriwal or his legal team is that they can find loopholes in this sanction. Firstly, on the ground, whether MHA is the sanctioning authority in this case, given that he was the sitting chief minister. If MHA is the sanctioning authority, whether the officer who has granted this sanction was authorized to grant this sanction, number two. Number three would be that when we as lawyers test the veracity of sanction granted in such cases, we challenge it in so many grounds that whether judicial mind was applied while granting this sanction, whether it is mechanically granted or otherwise, why was this timing after 2 years of registration of FIR? All of these questions are open for Mr. Kejriwal to be tested at the trial by the trial court. So at this stage to say either attribute political attributions for the timing of sanction or otherwise, I think would be stretching it too far, because we see that this prosecution is going on for last about more than 2 years from when Manish Sisodia was arrested first and Kejriwal arrested later. But the investigation is going on. The trial has to begin and sanction has to be obtained as per the Supreme Court dictate in the Acharya's case. Supreme Court has said that under 197 for prosecution of any public servant, even by the ED authorities under PMLA, and sanction would be required under 197(1). Which the government has now obtained. Whether it's a good sanction, bad sanction to be taken cognizance of by the court are all legal options available for both the sides. So I don't see either it is a setback for Kejriwal or it is an achievement for ED. It is just a usual landmark that they have achieved.
Okay. Having said that, Advocate Anmol Power, we had lost your audio for a while, which is why we had to go to Mr. Damania as well. Now, sorry, we had to go to Advocate Parvez Memon as well. Now, Advocate Panwar, we heard the view of a very senior colleague of yours as well, saying that this is not a setback, neither is this some sort of a achievement from the Enforcement Directorate at this point. So in that case, why is the Aam Aadmi Party necessarily seeing this and trying to make itself a victim of this if it's just procedure being followed?
See, we are, Ritangshuji, we are not making ourselves victims. The fact is that the so-called premier agency, which the Honorable Supreme Court thinks that they work as case parrots of Bharatiya Janata Party, ED and CBI, they are not even aware about the correct procedures. I mean, after 2 years, they are acknowledging this fact after the Honorable Supreme Court intervened and directed them that you don't even have a sanction for prosecution. So this clearly proves that this was an investigation scam, wherein after 2 years of investigation, there's no money trail, there's no direct or indirect evidence. even the court has very categorically said that the enforcement directorate was acting with bias. So ये तो पूरा देश देख रहा है, because the Bharatiya Janata Party is unsettled. That is why they are resorting to these tactics. And the people of Delhi who have not believed this BJP drama for the last 2 years, the BJP thinks that they will believe it now. Not at all. I mean, in fact, yesterday, the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson's derogatory remarks against the Purvanchali communities living in Delhi, it serves as the last nail in the coffin that show that how blatant disrespect they have for the Purvanchalis who play a vital role in the progress and development of our city. So inki haar nishchit hai, the writing is clear on the wall, and that is why they are getting rattled and resorting to these tactics.
Pradeep, Mahaur, come in and respond to this statement. The view coming in that nothing happens as a coincidence, even if it is just procedure. Timing and the public narrative around such procedural moves are essentially meant to show that Mr. Kejriwal is still carries the taint of Liquorgate.
Look, the bail was given by two bench judges, Justice Suryakanth and Justice Goyal. Right. Let's go to the whatever mentioned by the judges. So judges mentioned that Arvind Kejriwal had an opinion that section 41 and 41A was violated. So Justice Suryakant clarified that there is no violation of section 41, 41A. So the arrest was legal. Justice Bhuyan, on the other hand, said that it is questionable. Arrest is questionable because there was no arrest for 22 months. He did not say that the arrest is wrong, but why the arrest was not done for 22 months. This was the opinion of the judges. Now they are coming with their own stories that, whatever, the cages and these agencies were used like cages and all that. This is all rubbish. This is their own narrative that they are coming forward, that they are trying to fool people of Delhi. And the reality is that Arvind Kejriwal messed up with the liquor policy. And we all know what happened there. They were providing one liquor free with one. So this was the kind of condition. The kind of liquor policy they made, that was in favor of some of the political. They were trying to generate money, and they utilized that money in Goa elections. So the trail has been connected. Everything is clear, and soon in future there is going to be an arrest and there is going to be a prosecution of Arvind Kejriwal. This is going to happen. This is the future. So now the agencies are working. Agencies are taking their own steps as per the legal guidelines given to the agencies. So why so much of hue and cry on this?
Advocate Panwar, the fact still remains that if the Liquorgate, the excise policy on alcohol, Delhi government was so sound, why did the Delhi government scrap it? And then not to mention the CAG report as well. We don't know officially, we have never seen the CAG report being tabled, because that itself is a question which even the High Court is raising as to why is the CAG report not being present to the Speaker. But the findings of that report are quite damning, that this policy caused a loss of 2,026 crores to the Exchequer.
Ritangshu ji, you yourself are saying that no one has seen the CAG report. It has not yet been in the public domain as well. And even it's not, the matter is sub judice before the Honorable High Court. Then how can we reach to conclusions? How can we draw the conclusions? Ki bhai usme ye hai, usme wo hai. Let the Honorable High Court decide. And secondly, Mr. Mahaur is trying to be
Speaker के सामने present भी तो नहीं हो रहा है ना, sir?
हाँ जी.
It's not why. The point is that this report is not being presented in the House, not being given to the Speaker, which is why the High Court had pulled it up day before yesterday.
Ritangshu ji, it would be very inappropriate to comment at this stage when the matter is sub judice. I think the matter is listed for hearing day after tomorrow. So let the Honorable High Court decide. Secondly, Mr. Mahaur was trying to be clever by half, has not read the page number 48 where these remarks were made about ED and CBI. So your viewers can read this order dated 13/9/2024, because they are expert in lying, they are expert in misleading the people, and they think that they can do so easily. But the people of Delhi are aware about the fact. That is why they have not voted for Bharatiya Janata Party in last 3 assembly elections, and this time also they are meeting the same fate.
Pradeep Mahaji, if the Aam Aadmi Party comes back to power, will that not vindicate Mr. Kejriwal and prove that's what the Aam Aadmi Party claims? Will that not then prove the fact that Mr. Kejriwal, Mr. Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, everyone were being hounded and targeted by the agencies? Because that's what the narrative is building, and I'll come to Parvez ji as well towards the end, but that's how the narrative is building. Yesterday, we saw a very intriguing press conference here about how a juvenile, was apprehended for 400 hoax bomb threats, but then guilt by association, so suddenly the mention was made about his family being part of an NGO, that NGO being part of a political party, and that political party batting for Afzal Guru, and the BJP was quick to jump onto it. The timings of these leaks, the timing of these developments, even if they're incidental, are quite suspicious in nature, and it gives the impression that it's not the Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP, it's the Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP versus the central government versus the LG's office versus the Delhi police, and it's not a straight fight.
Is it to me?
Yes, to you, Pradeep ji.
No. Look, agencies will have their own role. They will go as per the rules and regulations mentioned in the agencies, right? So they are doing their job. So they are whatever the
but the timing is very suspicious, no, Pradeep ji. On the day when Mr. Kejriwal is going to file his nomination, this is the day when the MHA decides to wake up and decides to give the sanction to the ED.
No. Look. It's not connected to elections at all. It is a regular procedure. Timing, I mean, could be elections, could not have been elections. If something is done after the elections, that will not be taken into the news. And something that is done before the elections, that will be taken into the news. There should not be any point of suspicion on this. This is the role of agencies. This is how they operate. This is how they have operated since the beginning, since independence, and they have been working very well. So let them do their work. Why to interrupt and draw your own conclusions that they are doing something wrong? So this is what I am trying to convey to Aam Aadmi Party people also. Whatever, if you are correct, then ultimately court is going to decide in future. And that time you can, come out like a winner. But currently, what is happening is you are being benchmarked that this kind of a liquor scam was there. And this liquor scam case has been is there in the Supreme Court. There is only a bail that has been given. Bail does not guarantee that you are completely out of the scam. So still the investigation is going on, still the case is on, and let the case be decided. As far as the Delhi is concerned, Delhi people have decided that they do not want a corrupt chief minister anymore. This corrupt party will be done away in these elections, and you will see the results. Because I know the people of Delhi, they are completely away with this kind of a politician who has been into liquor scam, who has been trying to fool people. See, what they are trying to do is, in order to secure their victory, because they know that they are going to lose. So what they are doing is they are throwing up some kind of greed to people, like credit cards and all that kind of things, all that stuff. So this is not going to work this time. People of Delhi have understood. They are going to throw this government, because they do not want any kind of a corrupt government in the system. And corruption cases.
Well, that's the
point.
Again, Pradeep ji, on one hand, you say that this is procedure that's going on, but on the other hand, the BJP has already jumped to it and has termed it corrupt and always said that, yes, this is proof that Mr. Kejriwal and his government is corrupt and corruption is going on. So it comes down to a question of narratives at this point. Advocate,
everybody knows.
The point is, has a conviction been given? Has an order been passed at this point? We don't know, right? It's an investigation which is going on, and you say that investigation has its own process. On what basis then the BJP calls him corrupt. So that's my point. Advocate Parvez Memon, I'll come to you for the last word. It's okay. Advocate Memon, the point is, as you mentioned, this is procedure that's going on. But as we just saw in this debate, the procedure gets hijacked for political narratives, either to blame someone as tainted or to try and paint someone as someone who's the receiving end of a political conspiracy. In your opinion, which party so far has been guilty of highlighting or trying to hijack this issue and to try and get political benefits out of it?
Well, Ritangshu, let me be very clear. I don't want to make any political statement on this debate, but as we all see, these political jumlas have no bearing whatsoever on the court process. procedures. The court is not bound by what the BJP is saying or what the Aam Aadmi Party is shouting at the top of their voice if they are playing a victim card. So the political atmosphere outside the courts have no bearing on the procedure inside the court, number one. Number two, having said so, I do, as a citizen of India, believe that the timing of arrest of Mr. Kejriwal just before the Lok Sabha elections and the timing of this sanction just before the Delhi election speaks volumes about itself. It doesn't need an Einstein to interpret why the timing is such and why the political jumlas are being made. But whoever wants to
Exactly.
earn the brownie points out of it, maybe this may also backfire the BJP because the timing is such that Mr. Kejriwal can very well gain sympathy of the people or play a victim card. So it can cut both ways. I don't know why such timings are always taken. Maybe it is a coincidence, but I don't see it as a coincidence.
Exactly. There are no coincidences, but as you pointed out, this can easily backfire, and we'll figure out on the 8th of February as to what the people of Delhi really feel about it. Thank you all, gentlemen, for joining me. Advocate Mahaur, Advocate Memon, and Pradeep Mahaji as well. We're now cutting